Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:06.
It's time for Buck Shootaround on WTMJ. We get you warmed up, stretched out, and ready for tip-off. This is Buck Shootaround. Now, here's your host, Brandon Sneide.
Good evening, Milwaukee. Welcome back into Buck Shootaround. Back in the big chair tonight. They let me in. My key card, Matt, it still works. They allowed me into the building. Tonight, we're going to do Buck Shootaround tonight. How you doing tonight?
Doing well. Another day, another home Bucks game, potentially another victory.
Yeah, hopefully. Make it 6 in a row. Honor and a pleasure to be here with all of you tonight. As you just heard him, producer Matt with me. We're going to get you guys ready for a big Bucks game, the last home game before they go on a 4-game road trip over to New York, actually, for Christmas for a few days. So they'll be out in the big city for the holiday. Looking ahead, coming up on the program tonight, we will dive into the matchup tonight in Milwaukee. You already heard it there. Bucks and Magic. We'll take a look at the numbers, get a look at what's trending good for this Bucks team as well as for the Orlando Magic, and maybe where the Bucks have the edge in tonight's matchup, a matchup in which they lost the last time they faced off with this Orlando Magic team. The Bucks also did update their injury report. We do have some good news for you. We'll get you caught up a little bit on that. But first, let's take a look back at our Bucks recap from Tuesday night.
It's time to look back, rewind the tape, hear the sounds, and recap the latest Bucks game. This is your Milwaukee Bucks Basketball Rewind.
The Milwaukee Bucks continued on with their 6-game homestand as they welcomed in the visiting San Antonio Spurs on Tuesday night. Much like he has all season long, Giannis would get things started for the Bucks in front of the home crowd.
Great look for Chris as the ball was batted at, though, by Beasley to Giannis, and Giannis will get the preferred layup look there as he uses that size and height to score off the window, and that is an area we talked about. The Bucks could have a significant advantage here tonight.
The Bucks would continue on, getting off to a hot start as Damian Lillard would get his night going from deep.
That missed, and then the attempt at the rebound from Collins went over his head. Now Giannis the other way, slings the pass to the near wing, catch and shoot three, and Damian Lillard is off to the hot start as he knocks it down from the near wing left. Michelob Ultra three-pointer presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
That hot start would continue on where Dame would eventually join elite company.
Lillard, who's on the run the other way, and he will lay it in between two defenders, and with that, Damian Lillard just crossed 20,000 points in his career. 55th player in NBA history to reach 20,000. So the historical numbers, we talked about it with Griff. This is the week of history making for this Bucks team, and we may have a couple more.
After the first quarter, the Bucks would lead the Spurs 44-26, and like you heard Dave Kane there, in a historic night at Pfizer Forum, Bobby Portis would join in on the fun.
Here's a three-pointer, and Bobby Portis trying to keep pace with Dame. He's got 15 points now on his third three-pointer of the night. His 600th career three-pointer right there. 3 of them tonight.
Portis would finish the night with 23 points off the bench in just 26 minutes. Later in the quarter, Chris Middleton off of a screen would find the big man Brook Lopez as he would find the easy bucket to get on the board.
Snared in by Bobby Portis. He'll hand it now to Middleton the other way with 7:10 to go in the second quarter. Chris Middleton around the Portis screen. Lobs up to Lopez, and he'll have the easy flush.
Bucks would head into the break up 72-59. But out of the half, the Spurs would make a little bit of a run, cutting the Bucks' lead down to just 8 with this Keldon Johnson put-back layup.
Comes San Antonio, Sohan trying to get it to a single possession or a single-digit lead, and he will as he missed the shot, but there was Johnson to clean it up. So Keldon Johnson lays it in, and San Antonio is back to within 8.
Johnson would lead the Spurs on the night with 28 points, but that run for the Spurs would not last, as the hot hand in Damian Lillard would get the Bucks' lead back up to double digits.
First free throw is good from Giannis. The second one on the way, and that is no good. But the rebound batted out by Lopez. Now they work to the left wing. Long three. Dame Lillard zeroes in and knocks one down again. He is now hit on 5 threes on 7 tries tonight.
The Bucks would end the third quarter with a commanding 22-point lead, and much like the beginning of this one, Dame time would eventually strike 0.
Lillard coming away with a steal, going the other direction now for the Bucks. He's into the front court with a right-hand dribble. Weaving his way through the defense, draws the contact. Count that baby with a foul. They can't take that one away. Dame's going to the line. He'll have a chance to get himself a 40-piece here tonight if he can make this free throw.
Season high for Dame Lillard. He would sink that free throw. He would finish tonight with 40 points. And later in the fourth quarter, with the Bucks up 127-112, it's when Giannis would decide to dish to the Rook and Andre Jackson Jr., marking a new career high.
Takes it across that midcourt stripe now, trying to work his way into the paint. Funnels it to the corner, catch and shoot three. Jackson splashes it down. So Giannis with another assist right there. That is his 16th assist of the night. And that is a career high for the Greek Freak on this night where he has a triple-double.
Giannis would finish the night with 11 points, 14 boards, and as you heard Dave Kane right there, a career high 16 assists, and the Bucks would go on for the 132-119 win, securing their 20th victory of their season and their 14th straight home win.
I think we took what the game gave us. You know, they were collapsing on Giannis quite a bit, and he was spraying around and just finding an open man. Still ended up with a triple-double. You know, Dame had 40, Bobby 23 off the bench. So solid games. You know, sometimes you just got to win these games.
There is your Bucks recap of their last game, a 132-119 win, and I think Matt summed it up best as we walked in earlier this evening, about an hour ago. He said that game was over before it began at Pfizer Forum. No Victor Wembanyama in that one for the Spurs, but nonetheless, the Bucks prevail, winning their 14th straight home game, the longest streak since the 91-92 season. But we'll move on, though, from San Antonio and welcome in the Orlando Magic tonight, a Milwaukee team that will go for win number 15 in a row in front of the home crowd. Coming up after the break, we will dive into the numbers between the Bucks and the Magic, as well as hear from head coach Adrian Griffin and point guard Damian Lillard. You're listening to Bucks Shootaround right here on WTMJ.
'Tis the season to make some holiday magic of our own.
Lillard, he's had a big night. Shook his man, launches, and rips the cords from straight away. That corner, Connaughton couldn't finish, but Giannis sure did. Catches that one off the hop.
It's the Bucks taking on the Orlando Magic at Pfizer Forum.
Lobs up the Lopez, and he'll have the easy flush.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
I couldn't even bend over, but now after stem cell treatment, I can deadlift a house.
Now, this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes, and I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100%. It's expensive, and it doesn't last. At Rejuvenex, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave. Don't treat yourself like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. The Energy Star ratings for windows are getting a lot tougher to get the tax credit, so you're going to want to take advantage of. Fortunately, we still have options that will qualify you for those tax credits. Now, I can sit here and talk benefits of this product or what's great about that product. So can everybody else. But what a lot of operations can't do is, with complete confidence, stand behind the crew that's going to be on that next job. Talk is cheap, I get it, but our people are exceptional. How do I know? Because me and Vito handpick every single person that makes our team. Some make the cut, a lot don't. And that's why you can be confident that the windows we install for you will be top quality, installed right, and that you're going to get great service. And that's never failed us. So for your home's new windows, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
You're listening to Bucks Shootaround on WTMJ.
Welcome back into Bucks Shootaround. Not too far off from sending it off for Justin Garcia and Dave Kane as the Bucks welcome in the Orlando Magic on this Thursday evening at Pfizer Forum. Before we dive into that matchup, though, I do want to point out Chris Haynes of TNT, a little bit of an injury update here. He did tweet out earlier today that Giannis has been upgraded to probable for tonight's game. So if you're driving to the Pfizer Forum, maybe you're walking into the game tonight, Giannis is probable. He was questionable on Wednesday with that right foot sprain, so definitely something to monitor for sure for tonight, but it does look like Giannis will play. And while look, good thing he is playing. It's a tough matchup for the Bucks. The Magic enter tonight with a record of 16-10. However, a little bit of a skid for the Magic as they enter tonight with a 3-game losing streak. Bucks will look to make that 4 as they get set for a 4-game road trip after they play the Magic tonight at Pfizer Forum. The Bucks, as I mentioned earlier, 14 straight home dubs. Their longest win streak since that 91-92 season. And asked after that Tuesday night win over the Spurs about what makes playing at home so great, head coach Adrian Griffin, to me, he gave a great look into how this team has taken advantage of this 6-game homestand.
I think just being in our own gym, our practices, we've been able to get some work on the court. And with our practices, we've been able to get some shoot-arounds. And then obviously, we got the best fans in the league, and it's just electric in here. And I thought our guys did a good job of giving the fans something to cheer for tonight. But having that home stretch has been critical for us, especially going into the road trip right now. We got Orlando first, we got to take care of business, and then we got New York twice on the road, and then Brooklyn. So it's good to have this home stretch right now.
Bucks so far perfect on this home stretch. They'll try to make it 6 in a row with the Magic. Speaking of playing in front of the home crowd, Damian Lillard was asked after that Spurs game about playing in front of the home crowd. What makes it so invigorating and what makes it special playing in front of the home fans?
Crowd is on your side. On the road, when the team makes a shot, it feels like the end of the world sometimes. You need to call a timeout. And I think on our home floor, there's just so much to cheer for. Giannis is dunking. BP get into a fight and the crowd start going crazy. It's so much to cheer for, and it's just a lot of energy in the building. When you feel that, it's like a sense of urgency. It's a sense of pride and wanting to get it done.
So if you're going to the game tonight, no pressure, but you heard Damian Lillard there. Energy there at Pfizer Forum. The Bucks and Magic tipping off tonight at 7 p.m., the last game for the home crowd until New Year's Day when they'll welcome in the old friend, the Indiana Pacers. Back over to the Magic, though, in the Bucks matchup. This is the same Magic team, old friend Joe Ingles over there, who beat the Bucks 112-97 in the last meeting, and the only time they matched up. And even with 5 wins in a row, Bucks guard Cam Payne says this team's still learning how to play with one another.
I feel like for our group, we're not really there yet. We're still learning. And tonight was a big time with their start out. Tonight was a big time concept game for us. And we just building habits. So we just got to keep building good habits and keep coming out here playing hard. And tonight we did that.
Cam Payne there speaking after the Bucks 132-119 win over the Spurs. A look at tonight's matchup with the Magic. Mentioned earlier, 16-10 on their season. We'll look at a couple of the scoring comparisons. It's a Magic team that averages just 113 points per game, sitting right around league average, 19th overall to be exact for their offense. Paolo Banchero, their top scorer per game, just over 20 points per game. And in comparison, look, the Bucks really have shot up the ladder as far as scoring, as far as offense over the last few weeks, averaging just under 125 points per game. Good enough to be second overall in the NBA. No shocker here. Giannis, the leading bucket getter for the Bucks at 30.6 per game. Damian Lillard over his last 5 too has really matched up well with Giannis, averaging just under 30 points. Shooting percentages almost match the scoring totals as well. As far as rankings, Magic 47% on the season. That's good enough for 13th best in the league, and the Bucks at over 50, second best in the league. So the Bucks matching where they're at as far as scoring and shooting, second in the NBA. So offense taking priority as we get closer and closer to Christmas here. The first benchmark point of the season to see where the teams are. So good stuff for the Bucks. And we mentioned it earlier, Bucks playing by far their best ball of the season. Lillard really coming alive for the Bucks here, especially over his last 5 games. Listen to this, 29.4 points. We mentioned it earlier, just under 30 points. Second leading scorer for the Bucks. 7 assists per game, as well as grabbing 4 rebounds. So relatively well balanced in his last 5 games. He just seems to be getting more and more comfortable. He had talked about it. Head coach Adrian Griffin had talked about it. Giannis had talked about it. You heard multiple other players discuss about it. And really, something that really caught my attention was Coach Griffin also talking about this week about how his big 3 have really started to come together.
I see Dane, Chris, Giannis, they all professionals. I hear them talking in the locker room, and I just love the conversation that between them as far as knowing what they have to do. The start of the games, they're talking about the first 5 minutes. I hear them in the timeouts. And so it's good to get those guys having some dialogue. That means we're moving in the right direction.
You heard Coach mention Chris Middleton there, whose numbers and minutes both going up, especially in the month of December over his last 5 games to be exact, sitting at just under 30 minutes a game. Definitely an improvement from where we were in the first portion of this season. Middleton just under 17 points per game, as well as 7 boards. I've noticed a little bit more out of his game as far as the rebounding goes over these last few games. There's definitely been a concerted effort to get numbers up on the board. So definitely good things happening for the Bucks. And lately, maybe this is no secret. Maybe it is a secret. That Indiana game, I think we can look back at that, last week where Indiana took that game ball where Giannis dropped 64 points, setting a franchise record. Maybe that was the turning point of this season. I don't know. Campaign, I think, agrees with me.
That Indiana Pacer game, man, our camaraderie is at all-time high right now, and it's showing on the court. It's showing on the defensive end. We got everybody back, man. I just feel like it's a lot of camaraderie, and we keep building it.
I think most Bucks fans would probably agree there with Campaign, although I don't think they have everybody back yet. Still waiting on Jay Crowder to come back. Hopefully he's back in the next few weeks. But nonetheless, look, I tweeted out after that game that there's a good chance we could look back at that Indiana Pacer game as really being the most pivotal point in this season. Maybe the best thing to happen to this Bucks team where they really started to come together. They really started to gel together. And sometimes you just need an incident like that to bring a team together, especially a team with a bunch of new players on it and trying to figure out one another. Sometimes it all takes is a little bit of a fight to get things going in the right direction for the Bucks fan. And look, it obviously has transpired into good things. They're going for their 6th win in a row, as well as their 15th straight home game. So good things happening for the Milwaukee Bucks right before Christmas. All right, coming up after the final break before we toss it over to Justin Garcia and Dave Kane, who both will be on the call. We'll take a look at injury updates, see where Giannis is for tonight, as well as final score predictions. You'll get my prediction. You'll get producer Matt's predictions. All that coming up next. You're listening to Buck Shootaround here on WTMJ.
If you can't get a good night's sleep, let me ask you, are you breathing well? Because if you're snoring or waking up each night with a stuffed up nose, or frustrated with your CPAP mask, the root of your sleep problem lies in your breathing triangle. And if any one of those passages isn't working, you won't sleep well. And there's no mattress, pill, or other gimmick that can fix that. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. A recipe for a good night's sleep starts with an open airway. Now, there are devices that can help solve snoring or sleep apnea problems. If you walk into a sleep center, know you'll walk out with a CPAP. And you might find other options elsewhere. But the simple truth is, if your nose doesn't work properly, no device will help. Only at Advent will you find every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution, along with a world-class team that can get your nose working properly again.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
If a tree falls in the forest, but nobody's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Oh, good one. I've got one for you.
Okay.
If you go to Hasselus Mattress, but there are no employees, do you still get a free box spring?
Huh?
It's a trick question. You totally get one.
Get what?
A free box spring with the purchase of a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper now through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Or take an equal amount off an adjustable base.
But
our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Free next day delivery too.
Okay, but my question...
If a tree falls...
Right.
And nobody's there...
Yeah?
You still get a free box spring with a Serta Perfect Sleeper, Sealy Posturepedic, or Beauty Rest mattress from Hasselus.
But does it make a sound?
A box spring? Of course not.
I give up.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
You're listening to Bucks Shootaround on WTMJ.
Welcome back into Bucks Shootaround. Just a few minutes away here from network coverage of Milwaukee and Orlando from Pfizer Forum, the last game